Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga for this Halloween-themed yoga flow. I've got some really fun things planned for us today. So roll out your mat, maybe put on your Halloween costume or some spooky mood lighting, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. We'll begin our practice today in our corpse pose, laying flat on the floor. We'll extend the legs out long in front of the body. Closing the eyes or allowing the vision to be soft. We'll drop the shoulders a little further away from the ears. And let the feet fall away from each other. Doing anything to make yourself just a little bit more comfortable here. So that we can start to let go of the body. As we bring our awareness to our breath. We'll bring our breath a little deeper throughout the body. Carrying the breath down into the abdomen. So the belly fills with air. And then softens as we press the breath out again. Allow the breath to continue to deepen, fully filling the lungs, the abdomen with air, before pressing the breath out again. Maybe even allowing our exhales to be a little longer than our inhales. Truly let go before we start fresh again. With our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead and reach with the fingertips. We'll point and reach with the toes, taking up space. We'll start to walk the bottoms of the feet in towards the body as we move to our werewolf arms or our cactus pose. Bringing the elbows alongside the shoulders, fingertips are still pointed to the back of our space. Now noticing if the low back is not connected to the earth, we'll pick up the hips, tuck and round them forward and lower the low back again so we're grounded to the earth. We'll heel toe the feet out a little wider towards the outer edges of our mat. And then we'll windshield wiper them or let the breeze blow them side to side like a creaky door. We'll bring the knees back up towards the ceiling and heel toe the feet back in line with the hips. Now circling the arms down towards the body, we'll reach the bottoms of the feet up towards the sky. Now we can always use the hands to hold the legs here, or we can move to our mummy pose and reach the arms up towards the ceiling as well. Now we'll start to play here. We can circle the ankles, circle the wrists. We can point and flex the toes. We can wiggle the toes out, wiggle the fingers out wide. We can curl in and then splay. Now dropping the knees down to the chest, we'll roll into a pumpkin, wrapping the arms around the legs, lifting the back of the head, and tucking chin to chest. We'll do a little rolling or rocking side to side. And we're going to make our way to standing from here, so we can move our hands to the backs of our thighs and rock and roll forward and back to bring us up onto our feet. Or we can roll all the way over to one side or the other, press into the earth, and move to standing from here. Now making our way to our broomstick pose, we'll bring our feet in nice and close together so our legs are touching. With a big breath in, we'll send the arms up overhead, reach to the night sky. With an exhale, we'll hinge from the waist like a bat as we bow forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold forward again. Now we can keep the feet together, or we can heel toe them out once or twice. We'll nod the head yes, and shake the head no. Doing the same with the arms, letting them be loose to the earth. With our next inhale, we'll move to our halfway lift, reaching forward with the top of the head. Exhale to hinge and fold. Pressing into the toes will add more of a bend to the knees. And we will make a zombie roll towards standing. Tucking the hips forward. We'll continue that rolling motion up the spine, letting the hands and the head be heavy. Our chin will be the very last thing we lift in that roll. And we can lift the shoulders up and work them back a few times. Inhale to our witch's broom, reach the arms to the sky. And we'll shift our weight over into our left foot so we can pick up our right. Moving to a dead tree pose, we can pivot our knee, our right knee out towards the side and drop the toes down, connecting the heel to our left leg. We can slide the bottom of our right foot over to our shin, or we can slide it up a little bit higher and connect it to our thigh, wherever is in your practice today. It's a little bit harder to find a tree pose if you have socks on. Now we're opening our right hip towards the side, keeping the shoulder and hip away from each other as we reach up nice and tall. Now, once you have started to find the balance, gripping into the toes of your left foot, we'll add a spooky breeze to our tree pose. Maybe finding a sway side to side. If you fall out of the pose, that's okay. But we're starting to challenge our balance. We can come back through center and remove our right leg from our left, and then set the right leg down. Wiggle out to reset. With an in-breath, we'll reach the arms up tall. As we move our weight into our right foot, we'll start to pick up our left tree pose on this side. And gripping into the earth with our right toes. And again, once you have started to find your balance, opening up through the hip, we can add wind through our branches and find a sway or movement here. We'll come back through center and remove our left leg from our right. And then set that left leg down. Again, wiggle out through the body. And we'll make our way to the top of our mat. With an in breath, send the arms up. Exhale to our werewolf pose. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll drop our hands down and step or float our feet back to our plank. Shifting a little further forward. With our exhale, we'll chaturanga to lower to the earth. Inhale for a sphinx pose. Sliding the arms forward so we can press the forearms and the fingertips into the earth. Lifting tall through the top of the head, we'll press into our feet, into our hips, and we'll find a slight engagement through the back body by squeezing the glutes and really reaching long with the top of the head. We'll start to slide the hands back in towards the shoulders, tucking the toes under. We'll lift up through our plank and then send the hips up and back for our down dog. Swiveling out the hips, pedal out the legs. And then we'll reach our left leg nice and tall towards the ceiling. Circle the ankle out in one direction. And then around in the other. We'll bend at the knee, draw knee to nose as we round forward. And step to the top of our mat. We'll bring a full breath in. And an even larger breath back out. With our next inhale, we'll send the arms up towards the sky, finding our crescent moon pose. We've got a slight bend in our back leg, our right leg, so that we're taking the pressure out of our low back. Our hips are tilted forward slightly. The arms are up to the sky, chest is forward, big bend in our front left leg. With our exhale, we'll reach forward with the fingertips as we start to hinge forward at the waist. Now sweeping the arms up and back behind like bat wings, we'll squeeze the shoulder blades in together. Inhale to lift and fly the arms to the sky. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, hinge. And reach the wings back behind. Inhale to lift. And 1 more. Exhale, hinge. Squeeze the shoulders in. And an inhale to lift us back up. Now from here, we're going to fly on our broomsticks. We'll add a little more bend at the waist. We'll fly the arms up and back behind us as we lift our right leg up and back behind the body. Reach with the right toes. Squeeze the shoulder blades into the spine. And with our next in-breath, we'll bend our right knee as we bring it forward and set it down. Wiggle out to reset and back to the top of our mat. With a big breath in, we'll sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to our werewolf pose. Inhale to send the arms tall. Exhale, hinge from the waist. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward again. Drop the hands down. We'll step or hop the feet back to our plank pose. And then shift a little further forward. Lower all the way down to the floor. Slide the arms forward. Sphinx pose. Press through the tops of the feet. Squeeze the glutes. Lift long through the spine. Press into the forearms. Their next exhale will soften as we draw the hands in underneath of the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Lift up. And then send the hips up and back for our down dog. Wiggle out some more. We'll send our right leg up and back behind. Circle the ankle out in one direction and around in the other. We'll bend at the knee, draw knee to nose as we round and shift forward. Step the right foot through. Full breath in. And an even larger breath back out. Pressing evenly through both feet with our next in-breath. Lifting up to our crescent moon pose. Big bend in our right knee, little bend in our left. Long through the spine as we reach tall to the sky. Now with our exhale, we'll hinge at the waist, reach the arms forward out in front of the body, and then we'll sweep them up and back behind like bat wings. Inhale to float back up. We'll do 2 more. Exhale, hinge. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale to lift. Exhale 1 more time, hinging from the waist. Sweep the arms up and back behind. Draw them away from the ears. Inhale to lift tall again. Now hinge forward slightly as we take flight on our brooms. We'll sweep the arms up and back behind the body. Reach the left toes back. We'll lift through that left leg so it's nice and long and floating behind the body. Draw the shoulder blades in together. And then we'll bend our left leg As we make our way back to standing, set that left leg down and wiggle out. Back to the top of the mat we go. With an in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead. Exhale to our werewolf pose. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, hinge from the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Same with the arms. Let the upper body be heavy and hang towards the floor. We'll press into the toes. Add more of a bend to the knees. And we'll start to round or zombie roll our way up the spine. Take your time. The chin will be the very last thing we lift. And then we can find some shoulder rolls. Lifting the shoulders up to the ears. Work them back and down the spine. Back to standing, reach the arms up. Exhale to our werewolf pose. Draw the shoulder blades in. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the hands down. Step back to our plank pose. Now, we'll hold here for just a little bit. Gripping the earth with our fingertips. Pressing the earth away from the body. Good. We'll send the hips up and back behind for our down dog. And we'll slide the hands in just a little bit closer towards our feet. Add a little more bend to the knees. And really press the hips up and back behind. Really long through the spine. We'll start to shift forward and move to our floating seance table pose. So we're in a flat back tabletop pose, but our knees are up off the mat a few inches, pressing into the hands, pressing into the toes, drawing the core in, strong through the body. And then we'll drop the knees the rest of the way down, untuck the toes, roll back into our pumpkin pose. We can keep the arms out long in front of the body, or we can wrap them around. With our next in-breath, we'll come back to our tabletop pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips, pressing into the earth. With our in-breath, we'll move to our cow pose, tipping the hips back, lowering the abdomen, lifting the chest forward and the eyes up. Exhale, curling into our cat pose. Bringing tailbone under, chin to chest and arch up through the spine. We'll move back and forth between these two poses with our breath. Exhale to curl in towards center. Inhale to reach the chest long. And back to our tabletop. Again, we'll cross our ankles to roll back over our legs, or we'll walk our hands and feet around in opposite directions to bring us to a seated position on the mat. We'll extend our legs out long in front of the body, and we'll give them a little bit of a bouncing out, a wiggling out. Now we'll point the toes up towards the ceiling, engaging all the way up the legs. So the knees will gently pull towards the body. We'll sit us up tall on our sit bones. And we'll find a mummy pose here with our arms out in front of the body. We want really tall posture, reaching up through the top of the head. Now you can always take your arms up towards the ceiling again, or instead to find some more strength and engagement through the back body. But you can also reach your arms out in front. You're working your shoulders still here in this pose, lifting tall through the spine. At the end of each exhale, we'll recheck that posture, sitting us up a little bit taller, bringing the chest forward, top of the head up. Big, deep breaths in and out. And with our exhale, bring the arms down towards the body and then around behind us. We'll spider crawl the hands a little further back away from the body. So we're starting to feel a stretch along the front of our shoulders and across our collarbones. With an in-breath, we'll lift the chest up towards the sky as we work both shoulder blades in together. And slide the eyes up the wall. We'll take a few deep breaths here as we open across the front body. And with our next exhale, we'll slide the eyes down towards our feet as we curl the shoulders forward and start to crawl our little spiders back in towards the body. We'll walk the bottoms of the feet in and bring our arms to our mummy pose, again reaching them out in front of the body alongside the legs. We'll start to shift back through the upper body, so we're at a 45-degree angle away from center. If we can, or anywhere in between, starting to find that engagement through our core. Now we can keep the big toes down to the floor as our little kickstands. We can extend our legs fully out and find our mummy pose here, or we can add a bend to the knees, reaching long through the spine. Getting any extra wigglies, any extra creepy crawlies out of the body. Before we move back to our corpse pose here in a few moments. We'll start to extend a little further out and a little further out. And then we'll move to the floor again. Full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, point the toes out in front of the body. We'll circle the arms down and around. Walk the bottoms of the feet in. And we'll pick up our hips and move them a little ways over towards our right side before we extend our left leg long and bring the right knee into the chest. Give it a nice big squeeze here. Nice big hug into the body. And then we'll extend that right leg across the left side as we find a gentle twist. We'll untwist again. Bring the right knee back in for another big squeeze, a big hug to the chest. And then we'll drop the right foot down. Bring the left foot in, pick up the hips, move them further over towards our left side. We'll extend the right leg long and bring the left knee in. Nice big hug on this side. And then we'll guide that left leg across to the right side of our body. And again, find a gentle twist here. Untwisting, we'll bring our left knee back in for a nice big hug. Drop the left foot down, slide the right in, lift the hips, and we'll wiggle them out a little bit to help us bring the spine back to a natural place as we lower the hips back down to the earth. We'll roll into a pumpkin one last time. Lifting both knees into the chest, bringing chin to chest, wrap the arms around it all, and we can rock side to side or forward and back. And then we'll start to find our corpse pose again. Finding a comfortable place in your body to let all of that goodness from our practice soak in. We'll close the eyes or allow the vision to be soft. Finding any adjustments that you need to make yourself a little more comfortable here. We'll let the world around us and any thoughts currently at the front of our mind drift away like beautiful orange leaves in the breeze. Bringing us back to our breath. We'll allow the breath to deepen. And allow our exhales to lengthen. Fully letting go of the current breath you're on before starting fresh with a new breath in. Bring another large breath in through the nose. Let it go as an open mouth sigh. Now you can always pause the video here if you would like to stay in this moment a little while longer. Or if you're ready to move on, you can start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe even move the head side to side, rock the hips. And when you are feeling ready, go ahead and roll to one side or the other. We'll take our moment of gratitude here. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for taking this break out of your busy Halloween season or your busy day to refocus your energy, to move in a playful yet challenging way, and for allowing yourself this little bit of time to be still, to be present, and to enjoy the current season. Give yourself a nice big mental or physical hug. And again, when you are feeling ready, you can make your way up to a seated position. We'll close the eyes one last time and bring hands to heart center, or bring the hands on top of the knees, palms up towards the sky. And we'll take a large breath in through the nose. Let it go as an open mouth sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below and go throughout the rest of your day with peace, love, light, and joy. Thank you.